if Jiri, and I mean if Jiri can get the belt back at 327, he might do something special with it. But hey, it's your boy DHP, and y'all know the rest, man. And hey, so check this out. All right, so I just did a UFC 327 countdown reaction on my other platform. Sooner or later, I'm going to get my shit together and bring all this shit to YouTube, do the reactions along with the analytical shit. I just got to study up on do this shit and better my equipment. But if y'all ain't check out the 327 countdown, I suggest y'all go check it out. That shit was nice. But anyway, hey, for those that watch Nightcap with Shay Shay and Ocho, hey, shout out to Ocho. Hey, stay with me now. Stay with me now. The way they highlighted Jiri in this countdown, it made me realize a couple things. There's a couple things I'm gonna hold off for the preview show on Friday, but Jiri Prochazka, if you look back, the way they highlighted him in the countdown, if you look back on UFC history, his come up, him fighting Glover for the title, then him losing to getting hurt, then losing Alex Pereira twice. Then him beating the dog shit out of everybody else. It made you realize that the shit surrounding Jiri, not only can he be dominant at light heavyweight, but one of the things that, and shout out to my community chat, they put me in, and some of my people, they put me on some game about Jiri. So we all know Jiri embodies this Japan, this warrior spirit, and the Japanese MMA culture, right? What I didn't know is that for those that like anime, right? And shout out to all my anime fans out there. I'm not too big into anime, but I do watch a couple animes. Y'all gonna see in future videos, I do have a couple of Dragon Ball Z shirts. Jiri is a big anime fan. And one of the animes that he watched is One Punch Man, right? So the way Jiri fights, Jiri combines anime, because I made a joke in my personal message about Jiri fights like he's an anime character, right? And come to find out he's an anime fan. So Jiri fights like an anime fighter, combine that with the Japanese MMA culture, and that's how you get Jiri Prochazka. Now, what I'm getting to is when you combine his personality, right? The shit that he like is very marketable, but also how he fights and how dominant he is. Because you really think about it, he is in that he is in that Alexander Gustafsson stage, kind of. Well, I wouldn't say that, because Alex did, although he did beat like majority of the light heavyweights, he did beat majority of the light heavyweights. Besides John Jones, but he couldn't beat like the top elites. And I'm an Alexander Gustafsson fan, but he could beat everybody else, but he couldn't just beat the elites. He lost to DC, he lost to Rumble, he lost to John, but everybody else, he dominated them, right? The more comparable comparison would be Max Holloway. When Max, took the belt off of Max, I say when Max took the belt off of Max, Lord Jesus. Hey, I'm keeping that in the video, so there go y'all blooper. When Volk took the belt off of Max, Max had to face like a murderer's row of the top 15 just to get another crack at Volk, and Max destroyed everybody. I mean, he cleaned out Volk. They gave Volk a lot of niggas to fight and defend the belt, and then Max dusted off the rest. And it took Ilya Taporia to split that whole dynamic duo up, right? Jiri is in that position where it seems like he can beat everybody else, but he can't beat Alex Pereira. So with that being in mind, right, if he was to win this fight this Saturday, that's another blooper. I'm keeping that in the video too. Hey, this shit is raw, no edits, no cuts, no nothing. This Saturday, right, Jiri could be marketed, and he can do something real special with it, where it could be something larger than life. And by larger than life, that phrase, especially for those that have been watching MMA as long as I have. We've seen it with Chuck Liddell. We've seen it with John Jones. We've seen it with Anderson Silva. Even for the newer generation, I wouldn't say newer generation, but You know, when I was in high school, on to my young adulthood life, we seen it with Conor McGregor. Even taking it back to when I was growing up, Brock Lesnar, one of my favorites, Brock Lesnar. He was larger than life. He's larger than life about in anything, you know, UFC, WWE. So, and even now with this generation, Alex Pereira, Chama, hey, one more time, Chama. So this generation, Alex Pereira, and now you got Ilya Taporia. Islam, I mean, I wouldn't say he's larger than life. Islam, and I know what y'all going to think. Islam, to me, is not larger than life. He just have a huge following for MMA. Nothing more, nothing less. But somebody like Alex Pereira, Ilya Taporia, those are kind of like larger than life. You know what I mean? Especially Alex Pereira, because there's a lot of casuals, and even if you go up to a random person on the street and you ask them about the UFC or about Alex Pereira, they're gonna know about that. But Jiri, if you combine all the variables together, right? Jiri can really be larger than life. And that's if he get the belt back and just start dominating, because he's marketable in so many ways. And then, you know, that it just, y'all got to go watch that 327 countdown, how they highlighted everything. Because the way they highlighted it makes you, it gets you thinking like Jiri could really be a top 5 face of the UFC. Like no bullshit. Jiri, if he was to get the belt back and beat Carlos, right? Beat Carlos, become a 2-time light heavyweight champion, and even clean out like the top 10. Who's there to say Jiri is not a one of the top faces of the UFC? You know what I mean? He already got a huge following, and then you think about the shit outside of MMA. This nigga Jiri can really be something special. Like, there's some guys, you know, as we mentioned, Conor McGregor, Brock Lesnar, Chuck Liddell. You know, from the jump, you can tell right away from the jump, they was gonna be something special. Jiri is one of those where it's like, you can say he's a late bloomer, like we didn't realize we had a star on our hands. You know what I mean? Type shit. Jiri, he's that guy, bro. Like, just think about it. Go watch the UFC 327 countdown and come back to this video, and you going to see what I mean. The way they highlighted everything, Jiri could be something special. Now, that's if he wins the belt, because let me tell you, Carlos, and by the way, shout out to Minute Maid, boy. Them lemonades is good. This and the pink lemonade, Lord Jesus have mercy. That shit fire, boy. But off of Jiri real quick before I end the video, Carlos. Y'all wait to the preview show. Y'all just wait to the preview show, because there's something, and shout out to my man that was in the comments. I responded to his comment. There's something about Carlos that really intrigues me. Like, if you go back and watch his fights, and then you look at the countdown, we might have something brewing with Carlos, and we don't even know it. Like I said with Jiri Prochazka, like he's a late bloomer, and we didn't realize how much a star that he could be. Carlos, to be quite honest, he might be the next light heavyweight champ, and we don't even realize it. But yeah, y'all just got to go back and watch that. I'm pretty sure it was going to be longer, but I just made a video on the weekend recap. My nigga Joshua Van got hurt, so him and Tatsudo Tara, they on 328's card. But I was interested in seeing that flyweight portion of the countdown, but I'm gonna have to wait a little bit longer for that. But Jiri and Carlos, bro, I suggest y'all go watch that countdown. That's a good countdown, and I'm telling you, the shit would get you thinking. It would get you thinking. Jiri could be something that we never thought he could turn into, and Carlos can low-key be something that we wasn't even remotely looking at. And the way his Carlos rise been, it's been like there's been some guys that I said before, like you can tell right away they're a star, and then there's some guys where they rise through the ranks at a rapid pace, but we're on it like the whole time, like Kamzat, like we knew sooner or later Kamzat was going to get his hands on a UFC title, and he was going to get a title shot sooner or later. But he had some up and downs with like sickness and all that shit. But Kamzat was one of those niggas where we like sooner or later, bro, like another like 2 fights, we gonna see him in a title fight very, very soon. But Carlos is kind of like, he had a rapid, fast pace to this point to a title shot, and and the shit went by so fast that we don't even realize like he's already here. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, wait, we're gonna get to it in much deeper detail on Friday's preview show, but a shout out to my mans, because we was talking about this shit this morning. I'm not surprised that the odds for this fight is as even as it is. Because Carlos, there's something about Carlos that intrigues me, and niggas should be warned. Because Carlos is a bad motherfucker, boy. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, man. Y'all go rewatch the 327 Countdown. It is very worth it. Yeah, man. I tell you the truth. Y'all know how I get down on this channel. I'm as real as it get. No pun intended with the UFC slogan, but I've been very critical with the UFC, you know, with shit here and there. But when something that catches my eye that's really good, I gotta give UFC their props on it. And 327 Countdown, I gotta give them their props on it. They did a real good job with that shit, and it, like I said, it makes you think about shit that's like, it can real live change the dynamic of the UFC and the light heavyweight with this fight right here. But you know, until my next video tomorrow, because I'm going to do the press conference reaction tomorrow on my other platform, because I don't get copyrights over there. And then we're going to talk about the other fights on the card tomorrow, too, with the other people, because Paulo Costa and Azmat is on this card, too. And that low-key could set up a fight to face the winner of Jiri and Carlos, if Kamzat don't make the immediate jump to light heavyweight, which we'll get to when it's time. But until my next video tomorrow, I'm gonna holler at y'all niggas later, man.